Hello everyone, and welcome to another To Die For Friday video and our third Halloween project for the season. Today we're going to be using a lot of Lawn Fawn products, and we're not going to be doing a whole lot of coloring, but we are putting together a fun little Halloween scene. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We're going to be using pattern paper for our to stamp on, excuse me. I'm using the Monster Mash stamp set here, and I'll be using the coordinating dies. So I need to grab another block because I forgot to do that. Oh, my room is a mess. So we're going to be stamping out our little monsters here using some Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I have my small one here, but I'm first going to stamp off onto a scrap of paper because I haven't used these ones yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. This way I just ensure that I get a nice crisp stamp, and we're just going to stamp that straight onto our paper here. Let me do that one more time. It may just be because it's on colored paper, but it didn't look very dark. I think it's just because it's on colored paper. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp out my other little monster here. And I do like to stamp them a couple of times on a piece of scratch paper, especially if I've missed the first time. So for him, I think we're going to have the chevron. So this is Doodlebug. This is some scrap Doodlebug paper, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little chevron pattern, and I think I'm going to have it going this way on him. All right. Get that all taken care of. And I think we'll use this little guy. Where did my... I swear. And now I can't find my stamp set. Oh, there it is. Or my dies. So I'm going to pull these apart. Actually, I'm going to snip them apart. And then I'm going to die cut them out. So I will be right back. Okay, so here are all of our pieces die cut. I also have a 110-pound cardstock card base here. This is what we're going to attach everything to. I have ink on my fingers, and I would like to get that off before I go touching too much stuff. I did cut out a little purple bow there. I know it's hard to see because it's kind of far away, but I did cut that out. I thought that would be really cute. For our little orange monster here. I am going to go around the edges with just a gray Copic marker just to give them a little bit of a shadow. But we have our little heel side here, our little speech bubble for our sentiment, and we're going to put everything together. I have a little heart stamp that I'm going to be using. Excuse me. For around our little monsters. I originally did this card thinking that this would be my anniversary card, because our anniversary is the 25th, but I actually came up with another idea, so I will be sharing that later. I can't post it too soon in case hubby sees it. So I thought that, you know, this would just be a cute card that you could use for any occasion if you want, or just a fun Halloween card. We are going to do a little bit of heat embossing, but first we're going to take our little monsters here. So as you can see, we've got a little purple monster there with a little pattern, and then just our orange one. So I'm just going to take C2 for around them. You can cut You can fussy cut these out. I just wasn't feeling it. I'm not feeling 100% today. So I'm just trying to do this as simple as possible, seeing as how I'm really supposed to be cleaning house. So I got a birthday party next, well, not a birthday party, but I have a birthday, well, I had a birthday. Yeah. I'm filming this early, so by the time this goes up, so there will have been a birthday celebrated on the 5th, my oldest. Actually, and so of course getting the house clean for that, as well as the normal everyday chores. So now I'm only coloring around the edges, one, to give them a little bit of depth, just so they look, you know, more off the page type look there, but to also dull down the color around the outside, because I really want the monsters to stand out, and I think they are just so stinking cute, just so cute. Okay, so I think that just helps them pop a little bit more. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. I am going to leave the bow as is, but I'm going to go ahead and glue that on and just use some multimedia matte. And where'd my scrap paper go so I can unclog this? There we go. Okay. And I think I'm just going to have it over one of her little spikes there. Or ears, or whatever exactly you want to call those. And I should have grabbed my tweezers, if that's okay. Let me tilt this side. Oops, tilted too far, there we go. Nope, did not line right back up. Okay, I'm telling ya. Grab my tweezers, because I love having nails, but I swear sometimes these nails, and they're my own, they get in the way. There we go. Lovely. So there we have our little monster. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to move my paper with glue on it. I'm going to open up my card base. Yep. And make sure it's clean. And we're going to place the hill down and our speech bubble up at the top. And that's to and then we're going to put this on here. And then this is just to give us an idea of how tall we want it. So I know I want him on right here. And I do want the speech bubble to come over a little bit more. But I think that that's too much bubble. So let's see. For a little sentiment here. Yeah, I don't think I have him placed where I wanted him. And part of it was the hill that slipped to the wrong side. So actually bring that down a little, because I have a little heart to stamp on it as well. I'm going to pop them up. Yes, okay. So I need my ATG. I'm going to just run a whole bunch of tape runner onto the back here. Cut off the extra. Remove our little monsters here. I'm not worried about this being straight, because once you cut it off, oops, let me zoom back out, sorry about that. Once you cut off the edges, yeah. So I'm just going to cut there. And then we'll trim off the bottom here. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but this is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 size card. So there's a little grassy hill, and I'm actually going to, just because it's such a thick card base, I'm gonna use some Post-it sticky stuff, Post-it tape here to hold the card together. So this stops it from bouncing while I place everything else. So will not interfere with anything. So we've got our little monsters, and I wanted this speech bubble to go right there. Now I did say that we are going to be heat embossing, and we are, but I want to get this placed so I know where to put my sentiment. This is probably the hard way to do it, but I have some tape overhanging here, so I'm just trying to get it up, and then stuck to my fingers. There we go. My monsters, and then I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to trim off the excess. Now if I was using dies, everything would be die cut exactly, or if I was using the square die from Lawn Fawn, everything would be cut exactly the same size, but I decided not to do that this time. There we go. Let me get the scraps, since they have tape on them, out of the way. I don't need them anymore. And I think, yes, that is perfect. So I'm going to grab my, is this long? Oh yes, perfect. Perfect, perfect. We're going to leave the red heart last. I'm going to line this up with my mat here, and then line it up on the block. I have it. There we go. Okay. Oops. Forgot to get out my sticky, my VersaFine, or Versamark, excuse me. Oh, and the exclamation. Ha, I knew I was forgetting something. Forgot the exclamation point. Let me grab that real quick. Oh yeah. It's gonna hang off my stamp just a smidgen. I love the exclamation marks, but I hate how tiny they are. They are just so tiny. Some fuzz on there. There we go. And we're gonna, I just have a tiny little Versamark. I need to get the bigger one at some point. Okay, so we're just going to stamp that down, give it a pretty good squish, lift it up, coffee filter. Oh, I know what I did forget to do. Shame, shame, shame. I forgot to use my powder tool. That's alright. This should be fine. It's not super staticky in my room. Of course, now that I say that. But I have a soft brush here that I can use to give me just 1 second. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm gonna have to say something. I'm gonna have to admit this. I wiped it away, put my powder tool over it, and I still managed to get a pretty good coverage with the embossing powder. And I'm just using Simon Says Fine Detailed White. No, sorry, this is gonna be clear. I grabbed the wrong one. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll heat emboss it anyways. We'll see what happens. As soon as I detach my heat tool. I'm just going to let my heat tool heat up for a minute. And then I'm going to go off to the side over here to do my heating, because otherwise I'm going to blow everything off my table. Okay, while it's still warm, I think I'm going to try and do a second coat. Nope. Okay. I'm going to go fix this. Give me 1 second. So sorry. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I was filming, and apparently not. So I decided not to do the heat embossing because I didn't have any white detailed powder, and I did try it with regular white powder, except you couldn't really read it. So I decided just not to, and I just stamped it in white. So that's now dry. We're going to go ahead and adhere this down. And I actually found my smaller tape runner. So we're going to use that instead of the big guy. Okay, good. Just want to make sure it covers well. Thankfully, the other piece did come off nicely. So that's, I mean, that was a plus. It's just a matter of getting all the adhesive off the ends there. There we go. So we're gonna put our monster back, and we're going to put this right where I wanted it to go. Remove any extra adhesive and trim off. We're going to use big scissors for this one this time. Trim off any overhang. I'm going to have to glue that edge down, which is just fine, but I'll do that later. Get off my fingers! Sticky. I'll go ahead and trim that. Ooh, there we go. We got our sentiment in place. And now I'm going to take just a relatively thin dimensional, so not too thick, for our little monsters here. And they're each just going to get one. Oh, well, maybe the big guy will get two because he's much taller than the other one. And we'll give her one. And then for the heart, which I have to find on my, oh, there it is on my desk because I took it off the block and of course I lost it. We are going to stamp this with, I'm thinking Lawn Fawn's Wild Rose. Let me find my scrap here, see if that's the color I want. No. Oh, we'll do second generation stamping. So I know I want it to go right there in the middle. And then we're just gonna kind of third generation stamp off of that. Just to give us something different. And we're going to go ahead and stick down our guy and our little monster girl. This is supposed to be a simple card. I was dropping the ball. And I'm gonna take my black multi-liner brush here and I'm just gonna color in her mouth. But I'm also gonna give her some pink cheeks. Let me get that out of here. I just used R20 for that. And then the last little touch will be an eyeball for him. So we don't have a lot of orange going on, so I'm going to give him an orange eyeball, and then this way they match together. So I think I want to go with, I think I want to go with this one. I'm going to use my tweezers. Sort of. Use my tweezers so I can get it right where I want it. And then we'll go ahead and remove these. And that is our card. So, like I said, this was supposed to be a super simple card, but it's a fun card. And you can use it for just about anything. You could add more hearts. It is kind of plain, isn't it? Let me see what I've got in my bling stash, because I feel like it needs something. What, I don't know. And I do have a lot of Doodlebug bling. All of this right here. All Doodlebug. All Doodlebug all the time. And I do have some white or some Halloween. Should have thought about this sooner. Maybe I don't have anything. Well, all I have are the stars, but I don't know if I really want to. No. I did have some hearts, but maybe not Doodlebug hearts. I have these. Nah, I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I feel like it's missing something, but I couldn't tell you what. See, this is what happens when I kind of plan on the fly or don't do a background. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to stick with this. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, I wanted to pop back on here so I could show you what I did as I sat here and looked at the card. I did realize it did need a little bit of something, so I rounded the corners with my 1/2" corner chomper. And then I also used a pin that I had gotten at Target in the dollar section at some point throughout the summer. It's a smelly pin, and so this one is supposed to smell like either plum or grape. I'm going with plum. But it's also very sparkly, so I gave her a little bit of bling, and then I realized I hadn't done the inside of the card. So for the inside, I stamped that with the little monster, gave him the other little eyeball, and then I used the green pen as well to color him in. So now I think the card is finished. I think it looks very nice. Thanks, bye.